Okay, so I wanted to show you some examples of composite photographs. For this assignment, you only have to turn in one image, but to create that image, you're going to take bits and pieces from different photographs, and you're going to create this surrealistic image. Um, and so, yeah, it's a really kind of fun process. And Jerry Yulesman, who I mentioned in the demo, kind of invented this process. Well, no, it's been around for a long time, but he got really good at it, and he uses the darkroom. So he's doing this all totally without computer, um, but he got so good at it, and a lot of people wanted to copy this, and I think it was his work that kind of helped bring about Photoshop, the ability to do this now so much more easily than with the darkroom. And he works in black and white, and there is one good thing about turning your images to black and white for this project, is because the color of the light doesn't kind of distract, because sometimes you could be shooting in different light sources and it can just become, difficult. But he's turning this root system from a tree and it morphs into a house. This is surrealism. This is putting things together that shouldn't make sense, but somehow they feel very authentic. And with photography, surrealism is a great tool because people believe every image that they see. I'm becoming more suspicious as the days goes on. Okay, so this is the one exception to he digitally, his wife, who we'll look at next, does this on computer. So she helped him digitally add this shadow, and he's only ever done that. This is the original darkroom image, and this is the manipulated one. That was the only computer generated image he's ever done. It's really a matter of matching up tones, but then coming up with creative relationships. Birds nest in trees, but this tree is made up of human hands, right? And then there's the black crow there, all kind of symbolic imagery. Now, Maggie Taylor, she was Jerry Yulesman's wife. She solely works on the computer. So they have the same kind of ideas, but their methods of working are really different. And I really like her work. She takes Victorian photographs that she finds in various garage sales and things like that, combines them with photographs she's taken, or sometimes she draws on canvas or on in Illustrator and InDesign. It's all a bunch of different things. And then she layers these together to create these new kind of portraits. These, again, I love this lady is a balloon. Right? And there's a birthday cake flying at her. Just look at all the different textures, and now the dress is kind of replaced with ivy. What a great kind of idea. I never watched the Ghost Whisperer or whatever that show was, but I heard that these images were on the introduction to the show. I just like these ideas. They're wacky and crazy, but then they work, and if you really pay attention to her imagery and look into the background, look at how far and deep and how textured the background is. She's really quite detailed. In the demonstration I did, I just chose a black backdrop, but really you can get into this for long periods of time. She talks about the length, months that go into one image that she works with. Yeah, so really fun, painterly kind of feel. Sometimes she rephotographs her own hands to include in a portrait. Yeah, very interesting pieces. So this is sorry about the resolution here, but this is an example of the image that she bought, and this is what it comes out as. She repaints them, puts them in different situation. Now they have duck feet. It's just kind of very clever. So that was Maggie Taylor. I'm not sure how to pronounce this man's last name. but I really, his is very apocalyptic looking scenes that he creates. You can see the pier is on fire, and here this, the ground is giving way to all these houses that he put on top of each other. How could it hold, stay? There's a huge wave coming. The ground is cracking off, just all these horrible things coming in, but visually it's really quite engaging. And then, this pocket of earth, and remnants of, something. It looks like there's mud coming out of this little portal here. Not provide, kind of waterfall on waterfall, not providing any safe, place really for a person. But very interesting. I just think his work is really very interesting. Same with this gentleman. He turns a tree trunk and the tree separation into giraffe heads. Love it, love it, love it, love it. So I assume the tree and this background are on one image, the sky is a second image, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 images of giraffes that he's created. This kind of has an older, softer kind of feel to it, kind of a more early kind of style of print. But I love the sails being made out of bird feathers. It's very Game of Thrones, right? Love it. And tree houses. Why not? Love these tree houses that he's created. Playing with scale is something you can do very easily with this project. Make things that are big, small, make small things bigger. It's one way to have fun. Now, Stephen Wilkes, this is a whole different process. How he works is over one day, he goes up in a crane, like a big crane, and he takes hundreds and almost thousands of pictures of the same view. And then he goes into Photoshop later and he stitches them all together. And so what we're seeing is maybe 600 pictures that show from sunrise to sunset. And this, I'm not sure where this might be. Coney Island, I'm not really sure. It could be in Maryland. There's a bunch of places that have boardwalks like this. So, but love it, love it. Painstaking. You can look. He's got videos and stuff online. All of these people do that I'm showing you, and they have more images as well. So Stephen Wilkes, he kind of does the same thing. No matter where or what he photographs, it's a translation. He's up there all day, day to night. I don't think he ever comes down. This is Central Park, and I love looking at all the bridal couples having their portrait taken. Really pretty. Now these are some other ones I found online. Sorry for the resolution, but this is a serious scarecrow. He's got guns instead of just straw. These levitation images is what they call them. There's a ton of how-to on these. Basically, you have someone put their knee on a chair, and then you clone out the chair or select just the person and bring her into another image. If you have a scanner, scan some feathers, and you can see that like this feather is exactly the same as that feather, which is the exact same as that feather and that feather. And so you scan maybe a few feathers, but then repeat them over and over again. Now, in here is the good, bad, and the ugly. The idea is that children dream of candy. I think the problematic part is this black and white section here. This I thought was not bad. Not bad at all. Some selection issues, but creative. Same here. This is actually a black and white photograph with some digital photographs. She scanned the black and white photo in. This is playing with transparency of layers. The transparency is over, it's on the layers palette. It's kind of on the middle and right hand side. I'm sorry if you can hear that music. That's my neighbor, is a composer. So, um, so there's a bunch of different ways you can do this. This is another fun way, where you take pictures of yourself in different, don't move the camera, just you move within each shot, and you can come up with some really kind of creative images. Better in black and white. There's not the lighting. I mean, that shirt looks, different colors in each one. Love this image except for the dandelion. It's such a hard image to select, so you can see how awkward it is. So what else could she be blowing over? Bubbles is going to be just as hard. So could it be rainbows? Could it be fire? Could it be birds? What else could be coming out of this? This one I thought was pretty good too. Now, like I said, you can get as into this or not into this as you wish. This one was pretty similar to the other self-portrait, but you can see where he made his selections, and there was no kind of attempt to try to blend those together. I also think there's a lot of negative space issues. If they were closer together, I think it would be better. Now, this is also a self-portrait. This is Earth, Sun, and is that? Earth, Wind, and Fire, maybe? Yeah, something like that. Different elements. A little bit more cookie cutter, but it works. It works. Yeah, I'm gonna skip over that one. This one I really, really enjoy. My critique to this student was there needs to be something up here, or what if we just cropped it off? This looks like a speaker or some kind of portal of some kind. Could that be over there? Or, or the jellyfish. And maybe the jellyfish needs to be huge. This object, and that, they're all relatively similar in scale. So I think, kind of pushing that would be better. It's an attempt, right? This one's fun. Ooh. There you go, butterflies, blowing butterflies. Beautiful. All right, so in here she's fighting zombies. This is kind of feels like, I'm not sure what's going on, but she's held captive. This one was fun. The cranes landing on Greenfield Lake. Beautiful, beautifully done. So this was from a formal military student. Love this combination. He just turned those trees upside down, and layered them in. The falling angel. It's really centered. I think, you could probably crop off this part, and that balance would be, much more kind of edgy. This woman has his heart, or he has her heart. This one's kind of dark, but it's another zombie or on the attack. And he just Googled copyright-free zombie images and found this and used it. So, yeah, uh-oh. Martial law. Okay, so let's see what you can come up with for this assignment. Remember, there's another, if you haven't seen it already, there is a how to do a collage using the images I've posted on Blackboard.